Number 1. Wisdom teeth. One day a man walks into a dentist's office and asks how much it will cost to extract wisdom teeth. $80, the dentist says. That's a ridiculous amount, the man says. Isn't there a cheaper way? Well, the dentist says, if you don't use an anesthetic, I can knock it down to $60. That's still too expensive, the man says. Okay, says the dentist. If I save on anesthesia and simply rip the teeth out with a pair of pliers, I could get away with charging $20. Nope, moans the man, it's still too much. Says the dentist, scratching his head. If I let one of my students do it for the experience, I suppose I could charge you just $10. Marvelous, says the man, book my wife for next Tuesday. Number 2, elevator. A village boy and his father were visiting a mall. They were amazed by almost everything they saw, especially two shiny walls that could move apart, and back together again. The boy asked his father, "What is this, father?" The father, having never seen an elevator, responded, "Son, I have never seen anything like this in my life. I don't know what it is." While the boy and his father were watching wide-eyed, an old lady, limping slightly, and with a cane, slowly walks up to the moving walls, and presses a button. The walls opened, and the lady walks between them, into a small room. The walls closed. The boy and his father watched as small circles of lights with numbers above the wall light up. They continued to watch the circles light up, in reverse direction now. The walls opened up again, and walls opened up again, and a beautiful young blonde stepped out. The father said to his son, "Go get your mother, comma." Number 3, dummy husband. A man asked his wife, "If you could have anything in the world for one day, what would you want?" "I'd love to be 6 again," she replied. On the morning of her birthday, he got her up bright and early and off they went to a local theme park. What a day! He put her on every ride in the park. The death slide, the screaming loop, the wall of fear, everything there was. Wow! 5 hours later she staggered out of the theme park, her head reeling and her stomach upside down. Off to a McDonald's they went, where her husband ordered her a Big Mac along with extra fries and a refreshing chocolate shake. Then it was off to a movie, the latest Hollywood blockbuster, hot dogs, popcorn, Pepsi, Cola and M&Ms. What a fabulous adventure. Finally she wobbled home with her husband and collapsed into bed. He leaned over and lovingly asked, "Well, dear, what was it like being 6 again?" One eye opened. "You dummy, I meant my dress size." Number 4, a policeman and a reporter. Country policeman, at the scene of murder, "You can't come in here." Reporter, "But I've been sent to do the murder." Country policeman, "Well, you're too late, the murder's been done." Number 5, faithful. After having died, a couple souls flight to the heaven gate. Pierre opened the door and informed that for one time of unfaithfulness to each other in their life they will be prod by a needle. After being prod 5 times, the wife turned to Poe and asked, "Where is my husband?" "He is lying on the sewing machine table," Pierre replied. Number 6, my daughter's music lessons. My daughter's music lessons are a fortune to me. How is that? They enabled me to buy the neighbors' houses at half price. Number 7, the river isn't deep. A stranger on horseback came to a river with which he was unfamiliar. The traveler asked a youngster if it was deep. "No," replied the boy, and the rider started to cross, but soon found that he and his horse had to swim for their lives. When the traveler reached the other side he turned and shouted, "I thought you said it wasn't deep." "It isn't," was the boy's reply. "It only takes grandfather's ducks up to their middles." Number 8, father wants to go to bed. Next door neighbor's little boy, father say could you lend him your cassette player for tonight? Heavy metal enthusiast, have you a party on? Little boy, oh, number, father only wants to go to bed. Number 9, my daughter's music lessons. My daughter's music lessons are a fortune to me. How is that? They enabled me to buy the neighbors' houses at half price. Number 10, what do you clean your hands with? John, what are the 4 basic elements in nature? Fire, air, soil and what? The teacher asked. Try to remember. And John was embarrassed. The teacher knew that his pupil couldn't remember that the 4th element was water. Therefore, he gave a hint. What do you clean your hands with? John excitedly screamed, soap. Number 11, doorbell. Everyone loved Priest John. He was a happy jolly fellow, always willing to help or lend a hand. One time, John was walking down the street humming a tune when he saw a little boy trying to reach the doorbell of a nearby house. "Hey there, son," said John, "let me help you out," and with that John reached out and pressed the bell. "Anything else I can do for you?" asked John with a smile. "Yes," said the boy. "Run. We've only got a few seconds before they come." Number 12, the river isn't deep. A stranger on horseback came to a river with which he was unfamiliar. The traveler asked a youngster if it was deep. "No," replied the boy, and the rider started to cross, but soon found that he and his horse had to swim for their lives. When the traveler reached the other side he turned and shouted, "I thought you said it wasn't deep." "It isn't," was the boy's reply. "It only takes grandfather's ducks up to their middles." Number 13, a cow grazing. That, sir, is a cow grazing. Where is the grass? The cow has eaten it. But where is the cow? You don't suppose she'd be fool enough to stay there after she'd eaten all the grass, do you? Number 14, Money and Friends. Since he lost his money, half his friends don't know him anymore. And the other half, they don't know yet that has lost it. Number 15, Barber and Stupid Boy. A young boy enters a barber shop and the barber whispers to his customer, "This is the dumbest kid in the world. Watch while I prove it you." The barber puts a dollar bill in one hand and 2 quarters in the other, then calls the boy over and asks, "Which do you want, son?" The boy takes the quarters and leaves. "What did I tell you?" said the barber. "That kid never learns." Later, when the customer leaves, he sees the same young boy coming out of the ice cream store. "Hey, son, may I ask you a question? Why did you take the quarters instead of the dollar bill?" The boy licked his cone and replied, "Because the day I take the dollar, the game is over." Number 16, Two Friends Go Camping. 2 campers are walking through the woods when a huge brown bear suddenly appears in the clearing about 50 feet in front of them. The bear sees the campers and begins to head toward them. The first guy drops his backpack, digs out a pair of sneakers, and frantically begins to put them on. The second guy says, "What are you doing? Sneakers won't help you outrun that bear." "I don't need to outrun the bear," the first guy says. "I just need to outrun you." Number 17, Of Snail Slow. A guy is sitting at home when he hears a knock at the door. He opens the door and sees a snail on the porch. He picks up the snail and throws it as far as he can. 3 years later there's a knock on the door. He opens it and sees the same snail. The snail says, "What the hell was that all about?" Number 18, Man. Millions of people only have one. China has a population of 1 billion people. 1 billion. That means even if you're a 1 in a million kind of guy, there are still 1,000 others exactly like you. Number 19, 3 Guy on a Desert Island. 3 guys stranded on a desert island find a magic lantern containing a genie, who grants them each one wish. The first guy wishes he was off the island and back home. The second guy wishes the same. The third guy says, "I'm lonely. I wish my friends were back here." Number 20, Stanley Cup. It's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final, and a man makes his way to his seat. He sits down, noticing that the seat next to him is empty. He leans over and asks his neighbor if someone will be sitting there. "No," says the neighbor. "The seat is empty." "This is incredible," said the man. "Who in their right mind would have a seat like this for the Stanley Cup and not use it?" The neighbor says, Well, actually the seat belongs to me. I was supposed to come with my wife, but she passed away. This is the first Stanley Cup we haven't been to together since we got married. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. But couldn't you find someone else, a friend, relative or even a neighbor to take her seat? The man shakes his head. No, he says. They're all at the funeral. Number 21, your voice is nice. I was sitting in a bar one day and two really large women came in, talking in an interesting accent. So I said, "Cool accent, are you two ladies from Ireland?" One of them snarled at me, "It's Wales, Dumbo." So I corrected myself, "Oh, right, so are you two whales from Ireland?" That's about as far as I remember. Number 22, call girls and customers. A guy meets a hooker in a bar. She says, "This is your lucky night. I've got a special game for you. I will do absolutely anything you want for $300 as long as you can say it in 3 words. The guy replies, "Hey, why not?" He pulls his wallet out of his pocket and one at a time lays 3 $100 bills on the bar, and says slowly, "Paint my house." Number 23, treatise of 3 friends. 3 guys stranded on a desert island find a magic lantern containing a genie, who grants them each one wish. The first guy wishes he was off the island and back home. The second guy wishes the same. The third guy says, "I'm lonely. I wish my friends were back here." Number 24, carefully before choosing. A guy dies and is sent to hell. Satan meets him, shows him doors to 3 rooms, and says he must choose one to spend eternity in. In the first room, people are standing in dirt up to their necks. The guy says, "No, let me see the next room." In the second room, people are standing in dirt up to their noses. Guy says no again. Finally, Satan opens the third room. People are standing with dirt up to their knees, drinking coffee and eating pastries. The guy says, "I pick this room." Satan says okay and starts to leave, and the guy wades in and starts pouring some coffee. On the way out, Satan yells, "Okay, coffee breaks over. Everyone back on your heads."